So here we are, 1960, the making of the president. On the ninth and final turn, we're going to have the election returns after this. Kennedy once again won initiative. He's been throwing very few tokens into the rest pile, it seems, and they're getting wasted on initiative moves. He chooses to go first, which makes it seem even more of a waste. And the reason for that is he's going to play the Eisenhower silence card. That's going to protect all of the states that Kennedy is leading right now. And that's a very, very powerful advantage because Kennedy has weak leads throughout the South and the Midwest. So this will allow him to focus the fight in the one area, he hopes. Nixon comes back. Good old tricky dick. He's going to pull a card, and in particular, he's going to pull the Old South card and afflict Kennedy with that. Kennedy currently is the leader in civil rights, and he's going to have to lose 5 state support tokens in the South, which is all very weakly held. May not spend any points on campaigning actions in the South for the rest of the turn. That's a potent action to try to counteract, and I'll pick my 5 very quickly. Let's take Texas, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is a very different looking South right now. That is open for Nixon to take advantage of. Okay, let's try this one again. So with the second play of the turn. Okay, Kennedy continues to make some advanced work with the advanced men card, lay some groundwork down. That's going to allow him to assault New York and Pennsylvania without having to draw from the bag, and that's very, very important. He needs those states. He can also directly attack wherever Nixon is without having to draw. That's potent. Nixon played a card for a couple CP just to grab issue points. He wants those. Not just for the additional endorsements, but the momentum points give him more tokens in the bag, which is an important thing for resolving the final election day returns. He's also getting rest for those. So he's trying to get more tokens into that bag at this point. Now, he may have some good cards to play. He wants to go down and play in the South. There's no question there. But he also wants to lay this groundwork early. And here we are in the 4th phase. Kennedy played the Joe Kennedy card. That'll prevent Nixon from playing his momentum counters. Kennedy's holding some cards he does not want Nixon to take advantage of. But all these preparation cards are weakening whatever blow Kennedy can land. Nixon, on the other hand, flew down to Texas and then North Carolina. I missed Virginia somehow. Guess I'll have to. Nope, can't pick it up. Oops. And is trying to break up that solid South, taking advantage of the card he played. And here we're at the final. We just finished the final action in the campaign. Kennedy has managed to grab control of New York. Nixon has grabbed the entirety of the southern states that he could touch. Remember, with the Eisenhower effect, he couldn't grab anything else. And he played this for CP, moving to Connecticut to grab control of it, just to make sure that if Kennedy has a decent shot at Connecticut, he can't trigger that and get a bonus. Connecticut's not a bad state to have an extra support in anyway, I suppose. But it probably wouldn't have been his first choice. He probably would have added extra support into, say, Texas and in the South. But the threat of that card and the possibility that that could actually cause California to swing was something he didn't want to risk. Okay, so now we go to the momentum phase, and we definitely have some. We see Nixon is going to pull a momentum, and I'm going to grab 2 endorsements again for the top 2 issues. Only 1 momentum for the first, and Kennedy has to get a momentum check. He doesn't have a choice on an endorsement. Okay, so now, I don't know, it's hard to tell what the value is there. Oh, we had to degrade momentum first. Kennedy lost 1, gained 1, whatever. Nixon lost 1, gained 1. Okay. So Nixon's endorsements are going to be an endorsement in the East. So he's got a second one there. And a major endorsement which he can place anywhere. He will take a Southern endorsement. Oh, I don't know. Hold on. I'm just debating whether or not. What does he have in his pile? Now he's going to go for a Midwestern endorsement with the major one. Okay. And then we have these degrade. And Nixon with his media support isn't going to move civil rights higher. I don't know how much any of this matters. Campaign strategy and rest. Explain the strategies here. Grabbed Connecticut in case that card got fired off, actually. So I kind of double whammied myself. And Florida, because that was one of the more valuable cards that could be played. Over on the Kennedy side, put Pennsylvania. He didn't break that up. Damn. And Oklahoma. Oklahoma is kind of just a random shot in the dark. He's probably going to get it, but, well, maybe going to get it. It's really iffy. But it was a card that he didn't want to play. The Pennsylvania one, that was definitely a blunder, not trying to swing that over harder. But he just didn't have the points. I mean, I guess he could have taken 1 cube away instead of growing New York higher. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So now we're going to go on to Election Day. And I'll get back to you with that. Okay, so here we are in the Election Day itself. And I threw all the, all the rest tokens, issue tokens, advertising tokens. They would go back in the bag, as did 2 tokens per momentum chip that each player had. And now we draw for initiative, and draw 2 chips to begin with. There's going to be a tiebreaker. Okay, so Nixon has the initiative. Yeah, it's not going to affect anything tremendous because the only thing up there is one Election Day event. It means that Nixon's cards get handled first. Now here's how we handle them. It doesn't really matter what order they're done in. So I'll just do them. Yeah, I'll do them from the top. So Mississippi, he's going to get 3 checks at Mississippi. 3 tokens, he gets 1 conversion. So 1 goes in Mississippi, and that's enough to destroy a point for Kennedy. Too bad he didn't have an endorsement here, or he'd have won that state. Well, or he would be winning that state. All right, so we go to his next card, Illinois. Okay, that's another swing state, quite possible to fall. 3 Kennedy tokens. That means Illinois doesn't change hands. Our next one, Connecticut. Now he's already got a pretty strong hold in Connecticut, but he gets another token there. And last but not least, Florida, which is already his as well. And he gets another token there. Now, that's the Nixon cards. We'll do the same thing for Kennedy. He gets Pennsylvania. Now, he's not going to be able to take Pennsylvania on 1 card. But he is able to sink a bunch of Nixon tokens out of it. Alright. Oklahoma. More Nixon tokens. And this is the problem. I've told you there's a lot of red tokens in this bag. Yep. There's that. Iowa. How likely is that? 1 token in Iowa? He already had it. And Alaska. Oh look. He cancels out a Nixon token and gets 1 of his own in Alaska. Alright. Now, we go to where there are undecided voters, if there are any such states. We have one here. That becomes a Kennedy state. Nixon was unable to take it. There's no endorsement, and it's blue, so it goes over to Kennedy. Let's see what else we have. Any other uncommitted states? Looks like everything else has tokens on it, so I'm just going to sweep those up. Oh, I forgot the event. The election day event. That actually happened first. Hold on. Nixon gets 3 support checks in any 1 state. So this is the time to choose a state where Nixon might get a swing. Now, I'm going to pick New York State. And I get 2 tokens. 1 removes, 1 gains. And that's probably a guaranteed game right there. So now the uncommitted goes. And anything else happening here? Now we're just going to count up who has what states. And I'll just assign the state seals and come back with a rundown. It should be a Nixon win, but in the event that it's not, well, we'll see what happens. So it ended up being a fairly significant Nixon win, as we could have judged. 315 to 222. If that New York hadn't gone, we're looking at 270. It's 45 here, right? Yeah. 270 to 267. So Nixon had it in the bag anyhow. New York was just, you know, that carries at stake. Now, I am kind of surprised that it was that close with New York, but New York's a huge state at this period. All right, I think I'll be back with a separate review. I think this one deserves it.